I've long been a Patricia Highsmith fan, and I mean all of the sort of cinematic incarnations that have been sort of made from her novels. And many years ago I had the fortune of working with Anthony Minghella on The Talented Mr. Ripley, and I read the screenplay, Phyllis Naish's screenplay, and just found it absolutely compelling, the story, and I felt like it had really wrested Carol away from being seen through the prism of Therese's desire, as it is in the novel, and made her a three-dimensional character. So the film had a beautiful balance. But then it needs a filmmaker to make that into a film. And there were it was on and off and up and down. A film like this, that's been around, as you suggest, for as long as this has, you feel like sometimes once it finally gets made, it's had some element of compromise involved, or we had to let something go. There's been no compromises made. It feels like it's been made in the absolute right way. And that's a really rare and special thing. So when Todd came on board, and obviously then Rooney, it just then became a film. It sort of was like a freight train. It had an energy of its own, which is a really exciting project to work on, because you feel like you're a cog in a really interesting machine. Well, the tricky thing for me, the interesting thing for me, and of course you get to the last day of shooting and you go, oh damn it, now I want to start again because I understand her. But she's such a remote, almost unknowable creature, Carol. She's full of mystery, almost hidden from herself, very self-possessed, and in a way the impediments for her are she's been around the block once or twice in the way that Therese hasn't. And so the age gap between the women is really important. But I think what the fragility and the kind of the sort of subtle sort of implosion that happens when she cannot be who she is. She seems so self-possessed, but yet the compromises that she's been asked to make, to give up access to her child, or she can exist in a way that she wants to exist sexually. They basically want her to go on medication. All of those compromises, you see it's like she's an Izzy Miyake dress. It's like made with one thread. You pull that and then the whole thing starts to crumble. And so in a way, I think what I tried to do was read the end of the story and then work backwards that way and then sit on everything. So it was a tricky thing to keep that mystery alive. But the wonderful thing about working on a Patricia Highsmith character is that they're full of secrets, and secrets are fantastic things for actors to play with. Secrets that characters have from themselves as well as from other people. Yes, it's not what you witness with Rooney's interpretation of or incarnation of Therese is it's cult-like in a way. You see someone who doesn't understand her feelings in the way we don't understand our feelings when we fall in love for the first time, but also doesn't understand the language for them. I mean, there was no language. She didn't even know that what she felt for Carol was love because she was a woman. So she had no experience of that. So you witness someone almost learning how to walk, but knowing what she doesn't want. But she's not cruel, she's not strident, she just becomes increasingly clear. But it's really not until her heart gets broken that she can reform herself, and that she and Carol can have the hope of being together. And the interesting thing about the balance of the screenplay is that just when Therese starts to reform herself in a mature way, it's when Carol starts to come apart and really needs Therese, but Therese starts to be the one who's remote. It's a terrible moment where you think, that they're going to circle one another and keep missing one another. I mean, that's what makes the film truly deeply romantic, I think. Todd is the most exquisite conductor. He assembles a group of people and makes sure that everyone's on the same page. He invites the actors, the crew, everyone into the visual world in which he's going to create. In a way, like he's making a little diorama and everyone's part of it. So everyone on set feels empowered and valued and a participant. And I think that means that you have people constantly adjusting and finessing their work without Todd feeling like he's sort of micromanaging everyone. He's got an incredible elan and ease and flow about him as a director, but he's also very very collaborative. And there's many, like Judy Becker, who did the production design, and Sandy Powell. They've worked together a lot. Ed Lachman, we'd made the Dylan film, and he did the Mildred Pierce. So many people that he'd worked with before, but they found a new language and a new way. Because of course, when you think, okay, Todd's making a film in the 50s about two people of the same gender falling in love, okay, it's going to be Far From Heaven. But it's an entirely different film with a very, very different texture and ambition and visual landscape. It feels in a way like it's new territory for him.